Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. I'm ready for my reader to come in. Hey, Rhoda. Hey, Bree. Just waiting for my reader to come on in. Just waiting for my reader to come on in. 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 Guys, come on in. 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 Hey, Rhoda. I know people keep telling me they're not getting my live, but we'll see. We'll get started. We'll get started now. Let's see. Let's see. I'm waiting for let me see if she get it. I didn't know you was on.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Hi, darling.
Hi. Hi,
How are you?
beautiful. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Am I
Thank you.
echoing or anything? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Thank you for
Okay.
taking my offer, because
No problem.
someone had sent me because I read the at the bond hearing earlier, right? And there
Mm-hmm.
was a statement in regards to the proffer, right?
Yes.
And so I wanted to explain to people what the proffer was, and also what was the proffer that they submitted back in 2019 in regards to Robert's case. And this would give people kind of some like insight of exactly what was happening.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So that is what is going on.
Okay, so we're going to read this.
Yeah, the profit, but what I'm going to do is first I'm going to explain to people what a profit is,
Okay.
and then I'm going to go a little bit deep in it just to hold on a second.
Okay, I'll mute myself while you do that.
Okay. All right. All right. What is a proffer? Some people didn't understand what a proffer is, but in a federal crime, basically a proffer is when a defendant best okay, well, let me just read what the dictionary definition of it here is, and then I will explain it all to you. Okay. It says here in a trial, a proffer, sometime to proffer is to offer evidence in support of an argument. For an example, and they give an example, so we don't even need that. But basically, it's to offer evidence. So during the bond arraignment, bond request for Robert, there was proffers made, and the proffer had to do with the previous case, and this is some of the things that was provided in regarding to his case. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up this and show you guys some of the things that was done. Hold on a second. And Tanya, you ready? You can get ready to read it. Hold on a
Okay.
second.
Okay.
All right, so this is it right here. I'm gonna move us out the way. And this is basically evidence that's being provided. Instead of them, because remember when the judge was asking if they had any witnesses,
Mm-hmm.
and they mentioned no, they didn't have witnesses, but they had the proffer. Now these are the proffer that they provided to the judge during the bond hearing, and this is one of the reasons why that they said the no bond, because they wanted to give evidence without them having to testify during the bond hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
So this one is defendant is our. You want me to start there, right?
Yeah, from the bond, say bond
Okay,
proffer.
bond proffer. Defendant is Robert Kelly. Date of birth is 1/8/67. Age at DOI, which is date of incident, is 32. The victim is HW. Age at DOI is 16. The date of the incident was between 5/26 of 98 and 5/25 of 99. The
Roughly
charge,
about a year, right? Roughly
yeah,
about a year is supposed to
yeah,
happen.
yes. The charge is aggravated criminal sexual abuse based on the victim being under
But
17.
remember, hold on a second. Remember, these are not actual indictment charges now. These are not having these were like recently charged during this case. It's nothing that actually happened that they have police report and all that kind of stuff.
This
That's
is
not
stuff that happened in 98 and 99. They're just now charging him with. Is that what you're saying?
yes, yes.
Okay. So well, if it happened there, okay, anyway. Aggravated criminals, the charges aggravated criminal sexual abuse based on the victim being under 17, Robert Kelly being more than 5 years older than the victim, class 2, 3 to 7 years, IDOC, probationable and sentenced concurrently to other counts.
So it's basically saying here that this charge here, he can get probation for this, and is how much time this particular charge is going to carry, the maximum time.
Okay. So the victim met Robert Kelly on her 16th birthday, where she was celebrating at a restaurant. At that encounter, the victim told Robert Kelly it was her 16th birthday that day. Robert Kelly's manager then gave the victim Robert Kelly's business card with Robert Kelly's personal number written on it and told the victim Robert Kelly wanted her to call him. The victim's mother heard this and took the card and told Robert Kelly's manager the victim was only 16. The victim later got that card from her mother's purse and called Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly told the victim to come to his studio. Robert Kelly told the victim after her dad dropped her off at school, she could take a cab to his studio. The victim followed Robert Kelly's instructions. At the first encounter at Robert Kelly's studio at 8635 North Larrabee Street in Chicago, Cook County, Illinois, Robert Kelly had difficulty maintaining an erection and penetrated the victim repeatedly, vaginally, and orally. Afterwards, Robert Kelly told the victim to get an envelope with money from the receptionist that the victim assumed was to pay for the cab rides to and from Robert's studio. The envelope contained a large sum of money, more than what was needed to pay for 2 cab rides. The victim had similar sexual encounters about once a month with Robert Kelly from 5/26 of 98 to 5/25 of 99. The defendant has no criminal background.
Okay. Now here's the next one.
Okay. Bond proffered. The defendant is Robert Kelly. Date of birth is 1/8/67. Age of DOI is 31 to 34 years old. The victim is RL. Age at DOI is 14 to 16 years old. The date of incident happened between 9/26 of 98 and 9/25 of 2001. The charges aggravated criminal sexual abuse based on the victim being under 17 and Robert Kelly being more than 5 years older than the victim. Class 2, 3 to 7 IDOC, probationable and sentenced concurrently to other counts. In 2001, a witness had conversations with Robert Kelly and Robert Kelly's associate, where the witness was asked to retrieve videotapes showing Robert Kelly having sexual intercourse with the victim. In this case, was when she was 14 years old. The witness obtained that video and watched it. The witness eventually turned this video over to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office through his attorney. The victim has identified the girl in the video as the girl he knows to be his niece of SE. Additionally, the witness identified the scene from the video as having been from Robert Kelly's house located at 1 Marlowe's Lane, Olympia Fields, Cook County, Illinois. In the video, the victim repeatedly says she is 14 years old, and Robert Kelly is seen penetrating the victim orally and vaginally, and the victim performs oral sex on Robert Kelly. SE has identified the girl in the video as her niece. She, the victim in this case, the defendant has no criminal background. The next one, bond proffer. The defendant is Robert Kelly, date of birth 1/8/67, age at DOI is 36. The victim is LC, age at DOI is 24 years old. The date of incident is 2/18/03. The charge is aggravated criminal sexual abuse based on the transmission of semen by Robert Kelly upon any part of the body of the victim for purpose of sexual gratification during the course of the underlying forcible felony of attempt criminal sexual assault, class 2, 3 to 7 years IDOC, probationable, and sentenced concurrently to other counts. On 2/18/03 at 8635 North Larrabee Street in Chicago, Cook County, Illinois, the victim was 24 years old and worked as a hairdresser for Robert Kelly. While the victim was waiting alone in a room with Robert to come in so she could braid his hair, Robert Kelly entered saying he didn't want his hair braided that day. He wanted his head massaged. At the time he said this, Robert Kelly had his pants pulled down and he was pointing to his penis. Robert Kelly grabbed the victim by the head and tried to force her mouth onto his exposed penis, but the victim was able to resist. Robert Kelly then masturbated and ejaculated onto the victim and spat in her face several times. The shirt the victim was wearing was submitted to ISP for DNA testing, and semen was identified on the shirt. The male DNA identified in the semen sample is a match to Robert Kelly's DNA profile. The defendant has no criminal background. Next one is bond proffer. Defendant is Robert Kelly, DOB 1/8/67, age at DOI is 42 to 43. The victim is JP, at age DOI was 16 years old. The date of was between May 1st of 2009 and January 31st of 2010. The charge is aggravated criminal sexual abuse based upon the victim being under 17 and Robert Kelly being more than 5 years older than the victim. Class 2, 3 to 7 years, IDOC, probationable, and sentenced concurrently to other counts. The victim attended a criminal trial of Robert Kelly in Chicago, excuse me, in 2008 and met Robert Kelly getting his autograph after court one day. Excuse me. The victim told Robert Kelly how old she was, and he invited her to his house at 1 Marlowe's Lane, Olympia Fields, Cook County, Illinois, between May 1st of 2009 and January 31st of 2010. The victim had vaginal and oral sex with Robert Kelly multiple times. At times, Robert Kelly would spit on her, slap her in the face, and choke her. The victim said one of the shirts she was wearing when Robert Kelly ejaculated on her and gave the shirt to Olympia Field Police Department. Excuse me. The shirt was submitted for DNA testing, and semen was identified on this shirt. The defendant has no criminal background.
Okay, so now I want to say something on Remember when she was in a case in New York? She said that the guy invited her to his house, but on his proffer it says Robert invited her to the house.
It sure does.
So, but that's what a proffer is, guys. That is what a proffer is, and is offer. But here's the thing: the thing I don't understand is why wasn't he given bond when all these proffers says he's probationable? That he's supposed to be able to get bond. You see that, right?
Yes, I see that. But I guess my question is, if all of this stuff happened, then why was it not reported then in 98 and 99 and 2010, 2009? I just don't understand. And who is RL? We know who JP is.
Our elders were Shonda Lamfair.
Mm,
And LC is the Keita Carter, Lanita Carter, whatever her name
okay, that's right. That's right. So didn't JP get a shirt from his house?
is. She said that was her shirt on a witness stand.
Hmm. I'm not. I don't understand why. I think if his attorney would have fought harder, he probably could have gotten a bond. But it was like, okay, no fighting for this. We just accept it and move on. I don't know.
It's pretty weird. Let me put the link in there for anybody who wants to come in and chat with us. But that's what a proffer is, because someone had sent me an email asking me what a proffer was, so I just wanted to give it to them. It's basically it instead of the person coming in to testify, they let the agreement that they have testify for them. That's basically what it is.
But and I still, Miss Sylvia, I just for the life of me don't understand if all of these terrible things happen, why didn't someone go to the police versus a lawyer? I don't know. No one can help. If that happened to my child, my first thing once I found out about it would be to report it to the police department.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But this is all old stuff, guys. This is all old stuff.
Yeah. Miss Harris says, I think his attorney would have mentioned the fact that they stole all his things out of his house, including his dirty clothes. Wow. Yeah. Did they have a police report of her breaking or going to his house? No, he didn't report that, right?
He did. He called the police. They called the police. The police came and to the hearing. He came, but he was came from the prosecution side. They called him. They didn't ask him that many questions.
So that would, yeah. Hmm. I wonder what. Yeah, you're right. So they could have brought that up, right? Do you think?
Yeah, they could have, but they didn't. I don't know how people don't see this as all a setup. I don't get it. I don't get how they do not see this as a setup. And there's still setups going on right now. It's still setups. For that man, that dude, wide hip, for him to still be out here trying. Okay, you got your daughter. Your daughter is no longer in harm's supposing quote harm's way.
He's in
Why is
jail.
Yeah, why are you out here still harassing people in my bushes and different people's bushes? Why? What are you afraid of that might come out?
And why don't you just go away?
Exactly.
You've
Why? What
gotten what
is
you
it?
wanted. You've gotten exactly what you wanted out of the situation. You wanted him in jail. You wanted your child. You have both of those things. So who cares what people on YouTube is saying about you? Who cares?
Okay. Nicola wanted some history. Okay, Nicole, that's a good question. Good question. Thank you for clarifying old stuff. Sylvia, isn't one of these girls Sparkle's niece? Yes, this is the same one where in 2008 he went to trial and he was found not guilty. He was acquitted of all charges. This is the same stuff that they're bringing back up. Nicola, the RL is Rishana, which is Sparkle's niece. Okay.
And
The
then
other
the
one is
S.
Geronda Pace, and she is the one that they're saying. But here's what they're doing. Let me explain something that they're doing. This proffer was given in the state case. These are the four people in the state case, right? But they utilize it in the federal case on both federal cases. All these cases have some overlapping information. You have Geronda. She's in all three cases. The only case she is not in is in the Minnesota case. She's in the federal. We just saw her testify in the federal New York case. She's on the state case as JP, and then she's in the federal case of Illinois.
So isn't
So
that double charging him? Like, how can you charge him in every state for the same crime? Is that what you're saying?
yeah. For the same crime, for the same identical crime. Because you see, they mentioned in the T-shirt, they mentioned her getting slapped and all that. So he has just been convicted for her in New York. So I don't understand why his attorneys. I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm not trying to tell them what to do at all. But to me, this is when you should be filing those motions. I'm not an attorney. Hold on. Remember, I'm not an attorney. I'm just giving you my layman point of view in this. Okay, you have once he's been convicted in the New York case, I would be going to submitting motion to get rid of her, get rid of everything that had to do with her because he's already been convicted for her. So if you're going to convict her for her in the state, and I mean, if you're going to go, they just need to throw hers out. You need to put some motions in. But if you notice, no motion is being done. He's sitting there on the sideline. There's a hearing on the 20th, and you have not put a motion in. No motions.
Nothing.
That I have a problem with. And this is exactly what they were talking about in ineffective counsel. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Go ahead, talk to them.
So can it be? So he waived his rights to ineffective counsel in New York. So can he waive his rights to ineffective counsel in Chicago? Would be my question.
No, no, he didn't. He didn't waive his rights for all. He only waived his rights for Nicole, not for all the other attorneys. Remember, Thomas still was there. He was one attorney has been there from the beginning.
So he can say ineffective counsel in Chicago, right?
Yeah, he can. He could say it. He could even say it in New York.
I'm looking at something real quick, Mr. On Pacer. I wanted to show you. I wanted to see if we could hold on.
Hey, Clean Sugar. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sucking on ice. I don't chew ice. I just suck on it. How was you doing, Sugar? Hope you're having a good day at work.
So, Miss Sylvia, so did they ever do anything with that motion to produce all favorable evidence? Do you remember?
The one in Chicago,
Yes.
as I can recall, they were supposed to submit it in. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I can go back and look because it was back in March of 2020. They were supposed to submit that in because that's the
Yeah,
last time.
yeah. It was just a different motion for production of all favorable evidence. I was just looking at some stuff last night. Okay.
Hold on, let me get them to be quiet. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go up and read the chat for a second. Let me see what I missed from the people. All right, Brittany. Hey, hey, it's Terry. What's going on? Joycelyn. Yes, I'm back. Hey, Miss T. London. Thank you for earlier. Appreciate you. Yes. Ellen. Okay. Yep. All right. Doris, 1998, 99. Welcome, Doris. Hey, Doris. Shay Dotted. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. Jack, what's going on? Chanel. Hey, hey, Chanel. All right. JPJ. Okay. Double Jeopardy. Okay. I believe that shirt JP had stolen. Okay. That's a lie. How did she get his clothes? Oh, the same clothes that they stole from his house. Many years later, exactly right. Steve didn't really fight for a bond. Yeah, you heard that, right, Joyce? And Joyce, thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Um, let's see, I forgot LC. Yeah, I think his attorney would have mentioned the fact they stole all his things out of his house, including his dirty clothes. May God protect RSK and reveal the truth. Amen, Rosalind. All right. They would have told her to put the shirt on. It was a setup from the jump, not or old or not. Oh, no one went to the police because much money was underneath the table. Where are the 2018, 2019 minor? There are none. I see it clear as day. Thank you, Sylvia, for clarifying the old stuff. Okay, we got that one. Read that, Nicola. Yeah, that's her niece. It's about the clout at the end in the end for them. Sylvia Hatchin, set up and multiple people involved, even one claiming to be him. Wow, that makes no sense, Sylvia. Exactly. They would be able to fight against the Fifth Amendment. They would be able to fight against the Fifth Amendment. She's in two federal and one state. She never touched a stalker. Isn't that weird? He never touched her, but she's in all three cases. I think because remember when I showed you guys in my previous video how is it that her picture is in the case? How did they go and get her? You remember her picture was standing outside?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Miss Sylvia, so there's 4 counts, right? In Chicago.
That's the state. That's the state. The federal is more than 4 counts.
Okay. The state one is everything supposedly happened between 98 and 99. Is what I'm looking at. The date of
You
the offenses.
you saw them? Okay.
So count 1 was 98 to 99, count 2 98 to 99, count 3 98 to 99, and count 4 98. So these 3 counts top is for the video, right? From
Mm-hmm.
the 2008 case.
Mm-hmm.
That's what those are for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So too much. which one is the one and which one is?
You're breaking up.
I was just asking which one is the federal one and which one is the state.
The state one is the one that we have, and I can give you the case number. Hold on a second.
Is it at the top of that one? No. 00567 or 569. Okay, so it's 569, Miss Sylvia.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Sylvia, are you on Pacer?
You know I am. I got that big bill.
I know, me too. I got one today. So if you
You got
go,
your bill too?
yes, if you go to the
I bet you
0056,
my bill is bigger than your bill.
probably so. I'm almost for certain. If you go to the 0569, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you on that one?
That's the old one. That one's closed out. It merged into that 567. I
wait.
don't even want to open up because they're gonna charge me if I go in there.
Well, I'll do it. Open up to the it chart. Okay, so wait.
I printed everything from there. So which one are you talking about?
I was just talking about. You said it went to the what? Say it again. Which one did it
It
go
went to
to?
the 567.
Hmm.
Because you're looking at 569. 569 closed out. That's the one with the guy, what you sent me the other day, with the guy having the motion and he submitted the guy from Texas.
Yes.
Okay, that one merged into the one 567. They closed it out. If you see on the February 2020, they closed it out.
Maybe I don't see the same thing because on mine it shows the 567 and the 569 both were filed. One was filed 711, one was filed 712, and then the other two from Illinois are closed. They were filed 1124 and 25 and closed 12/1.
But if you look at the 569, you'll see, if you look at the history,
Got it.
history will show you that there's nothing like the last 5 orders. They're all COVID orders.
Yes.
And it's all closed up. I researched all that
So
already.
that one's closed. That's the
Mm-hmm.
567. So
Mm-hmm.
the 569 is open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
567 is open. 569 is closed.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to. I'm just trying to see. I know it's nothing you missed, but it's just a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not right with this.
Okay. Now I wanted to bring up something to your attention. If you remember the bond hearing that I read this morning, Steve stated that he was not licensed to practice in New York. So he was dependent on the attorneys in New York, which at the time was Doug Anton and Tom Farinella, to file these motions and those things. And really it was Tom Farinella they were going in under because Doug practiced out of New Jersey. He was on a temporary provisional, and they ended his provisional in October 2020. So when that sequential jury thing came out, Tom should have been on it. Tom should have jumped on it and straightened it out. I'm not trying to give Steve an out, but Tom was the attorney on record that practices in New York. Steve was still a provisional. Nicole is a provisional. They just signed in as appearance because they're appearing underneath an attorney that is there. So that's what it was. But at the time, Steve had not submitted himself as an appearance. Who is that? Q.
Hey, how
Hello.
you doing?
Hey, Q.
Hey, I just want to chime in real quick, relative to the bond, and I want to make sure that we're talking about the right thing. We're talking about R. Kelly, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, R. Kelly's case has been prejudiced from the jump.
Yes.
Now, I want to make my position clear. I'm not a fan of R. Kelly.
You don't
Not,
have to be a fan to see what's
but
fair
but
and what's
but
not.
but I am an advocate for fairness. Does that make
Absolutely.
any sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, do you know the purpose of a bond?
To make sure you're supposed to come wherever they said come to the hearing.
Right.
Just sure you're
And
gonna be there.
and people and what's happening is, and it is a tactic. It's a tactic used by law enforcement and the judicial system to heighten the sensitivity of a case by giving you an extreme bond. Because when people, if when criminal defendants have discussions in jail, the very first thing they want to know is, well, how much is your bond? And your bond gives somebody a predisposition on your guilt. And far too often, the judicial system uses that as a form of pre-punishment. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. So R. Kelly does not have a history of flight. If it's an issue of guilty until proven innocent, you've already proven him guilty before you prejudice his case from the gate. And you giving the public a predisposition on his guilt or innocence. If they want to make it fair, put an ankle monitor on his ass and send him home and let him fight his charge from home. But
Yeah.
this is an issue, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Law students from around the country would be using this as a test phase for their MCAT. They're going to be using this as a launching pad for reasonable doubt, especially reasonable doubt.
You're
So,
saying Mr. Kelly's case, this whole entire
yes,
case?
yes, indeed. There was one that was similar to R. Kelly's case back in the day. Derek Todd Lee, and his case was a case of reasonable doubt. That was in Louisiana though. But in my own opinion, um, he's going to win on appeal. I can't say that the entire case would be overturned, but there's way too many holes in this case as it relates to reasonable doubt.
Well, at least he has served time, so he should get time served.
Well, I mean, time served will go toward his guilt. At this
No,
point,
no, but you know what I'm saying? You saying that he's not gonna get off for everything not gonna be overturned. So
right,
whatever they come up with, at least he'll have time served because you're saying that
right,
they're
right.
not gonna
And
throw everything out.
I don't care what part of the country you're in, what judicial system you're in. If I tell you that I saw Kevin rob somebody and he had on a blue shirt, and then I recant years later and say, nah, he had on a red shirt, that is reasonable doubt. You can't change it. And I'm really appalled that any judiciary sat on this shit and any prosecutor used this shit, knowing that there were stories that were recanted.
Sir, this channel here,
Yeah.
you don't cuss on this
And
channel
and
here.
I'm
let
sorry.
me
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no,
I'm
let me
sorry.
ask you this too. Do you agree that how fair is it to change in the middle of the game, right? So we're playing football, so I'm gonna change the rules in the middle of the game. Say, you don't run touchdowns now. Um
You have to walk.
you have to walk.
Right.
And then the people that are doing all these false statements and under oath making all these false statements, should they not be punished? I mean, so that to me tells me that there's something else larger than this, because people have perjured themselves to the utmost degree. Even
If
in this last case, the one that he was just convicted of, that Claire Jane Doe number 5, Azrael, the judge wanted to have her whole entire testimony almost impeached. Like, she's telling in the if you read the transcript that this girl is almost basically saying she's a liar.
well, and here's the thing. Okay, and this is two verifying points. One is whenever you go, whenever you go before any court system anywhere in the country, I don't care if it's for a traffic ticket or for first degree murder, there's information that's filed by the state, either a bill of information or bill of indictment. Okay. To your knowledge, was Aaliyah on the bill of information or the bill of indictment? Was he charged in this case with anything dealing with Aaliyah? Yes or no?
Was he charged with anything? Bribery?
Pardon?
Just the bribery.
So, but he wasn't charged with any misconduct with Aaliyah as
He
far
wasn't
as
charged, but they brought it up in the
right.
courtroom.
Okay. So now here's the point I'm trying to make. They use that as a mode of operandi. All right. They use that as saying that this is what his habits are. So this is what we can bring up. However, no one can bring up the mode of operandi from Azriel by saying that she has a habit of lying. So we can bring up the fact that R. Kelly has a habit of sexual misconduct, but we can't bring up the fact that the people that's testifying against him has a habit of lying.
But you know what they say? You know what the judge said? They're not the one on trial. That's what.
But testimony is testimony, and that's why I said whether you agree with this cat or not, there's an appellate attorney is going to have a field day with this. Okay, and see when it comes down to appeal. Now I'm not sure who the judge was. I'm not sure, and I haven't did any research on whoever the judge was, but I'm sure that if that judge has sat on the bench for more than a decade, or been in the judicial, or that court has been in operation for more than a decade, they're going to find somewhere down the line where he's made a ruling in favor of the defendant with the same circumstances. All right, that is how cases are overturned. So the last point I want to make: how many people that testified against R. Kelly was still employed by R. Kelly?
None of them.
None. Everybody had, and like I said, I'm not a fan of R. Kelly, but
everybody has a motive.
I'm a fan of fairness. Yeah. Now, I personally no, and I don't want to go. I don't want to go into the who, what, when, where, and how. But I personally know one of the young ladies that's involved in this shit. I'm sorry, I cursed again. That's involved in this case, and she is a prolific liar.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying this is somebody I met in a nightclub. This is somebody I've known since the age of maybe 8.
Wow.
So that's crazy. So in your personal opinion, so how do we? So we would have to dig when you said there's probably been a ruling in favor of the defendant and something similar to this in that particular court. Is that what you would need to research, right?
Okay. So here's how it works. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a brief idea of paralegal studies. So let's say, for instance, okay, so every crime has a statute. Okay. I'm not sure what the statute is called for kidnapping in New York, but there's a statute for it. So when there's a statute for it, then you can take that same statute and go to something that's called a statute annotated. All right. And that statute.
Hold on, let me write that down. One moment. I'm sorry. Statute so say it again.
Statutes annotated.
Okay.
Okay. And that what's going to happen is for that one particular crime, for that one particular site, they're going to tell you every case that has been appealed in that particular jurisdiction for that particular, and everybody's been charged for it. Let me give you a better idea. Law and Order, CSI, they get all of their cases from law books, from appeal books. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know it.
So that's why they'll never run out of material. They go to cases that have been appealed, and they start from the crime backwards into the actual case. So nevertheless, so you can literally take a statute that has happened in that particular jurisdiction, and you can research everything about that statute. Now, what you're supposed to be doing as an appellate attorney on behalf of the defendant, you want to try to find rulings that have been made by a particular district that has been appealed and have and been won. For example, let's say, for instance, if I have a case where I haven't been Mirandized. The police officer didn't Mirandize me upon arrest, but the judge allows my case to go forward, even though I know through law that he has to read me my rights. So on appeal, I can appeal to the higher court and tell the higher court, well, this gentleman was not Mirandized, and here's a case that has been overturned in your district that agrees with me that this case should be overturned. So basically, the higher court will kick it back down to the lower court and say, hey, we ruled on this before, overturn this. So what R. Kelly's case is going to come down to, basically, is finding where similar cases, it may not even have been in that particular courtroom, but it may have been in that district. Similar cases that have had the same complaints of abuse of constitutionality that was overturned, and then they'll bring it back to the lower court. Unfortunately, it takes time. As a matter of fact, Bill Cosby just went through the same thing.
Yes, because his convictions were RICO and the Mann Act.
Now RICO is under and this is for educational purposes. Okay, the RICO crime falls under what umbrella? Of course, you know that let's say the murder, underneath the murder umbrella, you have involuntary manslaughter, you have second degree murder, first degree murder. Those fall underneath the general umbrella of murder. So you have your different levels of murder. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
So now under rape, you have different umbrellas that fall underneath that. You have sexual abuse with a minor, or rape by touching, or some other charge of rape. So under conspiracy, you have different things like RICO and general conspiracy. So the basic definition of conspiracy, in a nutshell, is the agreement of two or more people in furtherance of that agreement. All right. So if you and I decide we want to go that we're going to go and rob a bank together, you go and I stay. I decide not to go. They can't charge us with conspiracy. But if I even stay in the car while you're going to rob the bank, then they can say that it was conspiracy. But it would still take one of those people to say, yes, I agree to that with him. You can't that, and this is what I found funny about with this case. You can't have conspiracy by your damn self.
No, you can. Like that's the thing. How is he? Is it a RICO when he's the only person? No matter if they've made a deal or not.
Right. So let me ask you a question. So from my understanding, I haven't looked close into this, but from my understanding, are there co-defendants that are being charged at separate times?
Not in this New York case. The one he was just.
Ma'am, this is the best description of kangaroo court.
Wow.
Okay. This is the best description of kangaroo court.
And your definition of kangaroo court?
Pardon?
Your definition, if you can just briefly explain what kangaroo court means.
Kangaroo court means you make up the rules as you go along.
Got it.
Hop.
Got it.
You know, that's the definition. You know, someone in that neighborhood. If you did a Google search for kangaroo court, it'd be close to that. But kangaroo court is making the crap up as you go along. Anything to make it fit.
What about the Mann Act? What do you think about that?
How many white men have been charged with the Mann Act?
Zero to my knowledge. From
None.
my,
None.
so
You
the
know,
case study on this, you would have to go back to.
I think it was four. The ones I've known.
four white men or four black men.
For white.
Well, I would like to know about those cases. That's interesting to me. But um, Dave, this is literally, let's throw something to the wall and see if it sticks. There's no better way to put it. It's overcharging. Um, there's no, and like I say, I haven't really looked thoroughly into this case. Because I
Yeah.
really haven't.
Thank you, Joycelyn. Charlie Chaplin was one.
Charlie Chaplin was one.
Was one that was charged with the Mann Act.
Charlie Chaplin was not white. Charlie Chaplin was a Melungeon. He was the same thing as Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln was not a white man.
Yeah,
No.
but they consider them white. I mean, we're being technical, or we're just.
So the conspirator. Someone says the conspirators were given immunity.
Yeah, okay. So that is interesting. That's interesting as hell. So immunity for what? So here's the question. If they were given immunity, even if they were given immunity, they still had to have had a bill of information filed. They still had this. There's a process that has to happen. You can't just say, "Well, I'm just to give you immunity," and there's nothing. In other words, if some giving someone immunity is like, let me make sure I'm putting this correctly. Um, they have to have something on their end in the event that this person does not follow through with their end of the agreement to testify. Normally when a criminal defendant testifies against another criminal defendant, something else has been in motion. That person has been arrested, or there's been some type of formal proceeding against that person to hold them against what was happening. So, has there been any testimony as to what they were part of? Did they acknowledge that they had sexual intercourse, or witness R. Kelly having sexual intercourse with a minor and failed to say anything? Because those, my friends, are crimes.
No, I think what they were saying that they were the one giving out his phone number or something to that case.
No. I'm saying no from on the state's behalf. The state is going to have to file something against those people. In other words, I'm gonna give you a good example. In Louisiana, we have indicted more public officials than anywhere else in the country in the last 15 years since Hurricane Katrina. There was a gentleman by the name of Pampy Barre, Pampybarre. Pampy Barre took down the mayor, Ray Nagin. He started Operation Wrinkle Road, which netted a bunch of judges. We had William Jefferson, who was a congressman who was caught with $90,000 in the freezer. All of that came from Pampy Barre's testimony. Now, here's what's so unique. Pampy Barre was arrested and indicted and pled guilty in 2001, but he didn't get sentenced until 2013.
Wow.
So you know what that means? That means that that was the person who they gave some sort of, because he was facing life. I think he only got like 6 years. So for that portion of immunity, they held off on sentencing him until after they were done with their case. So now, in the event that he chose not to participate, or he recanted, they had a proceeding that had already taken place where they can go back and punish him.
Wow.
It's a
Okay.
bargaining chip.
Yeah. Said in the chat, ask him, can't they charge Demetrius in another district they gave him immunity on? I don't know what
Wait,
that.
come again? Hold on a second. Pardon?
5C? I'm not sure. I have these 2 suites right here. That's my office. I'm not sure what 5C is. Yeah. Okay. What were we asking me?
No, they were talking about one of the the ones that worked for him that testified against him. They said, ask him, can they charge Demetrius in another district? They gave him immunity.
And this is the part. You see, what's going to happen is I'm going to start reading this, and I'm going to become engulfed in it. I probably won't be able to get no sleep.
What happened? Did he leave? Are you?
Wrong thing. I got my bonnet on. I think you hit the whole wrong thing.
You put the link back in there, Miss Sylvia?
Hmm?
Put the link back in there. I think he hung up.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna be another commentary because I got my bonnet on.
Did he? Yeah, I think he hung up, or did he?
Hold on, let me put the link back in there. Hold on.
This is so. You know what? I'm gonna spend the rest of the day researching this stuff. What he just told me.
I probably need to go to the law library. I have one over here.
This is so interesting. Don't you think? Was that good information he just said? Like,
Definitely.
very informative. Because, oh wow.
I put it in. He's gonna come back once he get back. Well,
And I'm telling you that, like we all have been saying, Robert is coming home.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this guy may be some type of attorney. Maybe, I don't know.
There's a lot of attorneys that's following my page. I've been getting messages from them left and right.
So I think he sounds, for him, he has a lot of knowledge. I think he's an attorney. It sounds like he says he's going to be studying this case, and he probably won't get any sleep.
But there's a lot. I'm telling you, a lot. I get so many messages all day long from people who wants to look at this case
Because it's just so odd.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm staying away from all the nonsense. I did my little stupidity yesterday, but
Yeah,
I was like, time is running out. I don't need to play around with these people.
No, and I've just really decided that I'm not going to watch any other channels because I don't want to be distracted or miss.
Oh, listen, guys. We definitely need to get those character letters in. Yeah, you write them to the judge yourself. I mean, not no stupid stuff now. Don't say, "Oh, he makes me feel." Oh, well, let me just. No, I mean real character letters, y'all. Real character letters. What he actually means to you, and what your personal experience with him, that type of thing. So that's what we need to be doing. Well, he says he's coming back. Okay, I put the link in. Hold on. I put the link in for him. Okay. Hey, Gucci. Where have you been, sir? How are you, Gooch? We learned a lot this morning. Q came in to give us some knowledge. Leslie, he's coming back. He's going to give us some more 411. Talk to supporters, not fans. Lady Earth, how can we tell who are actually your supporters and who are actually fans? Because, some people can't play a good game, and claim they're supporters and then turn out to be fanatics. You know what I'm saying? I finally got a chance to see a concert video of his because I've never seen a concert videos, and I was like, look at the amount of people out here. Oh my gosh, it's just like a Michael Jackson concert. Latrice, you sent me a cash app. Latrice, I didn't see. You sent a Zelle? You sent a Zelle? Let's see. I didn't see a Zelle. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let's see, Miss Latrice. I didn't see it. Hold on. Yeah, I got it, Latrice. It's under your business name, right? It's under your business name, right? If it's under your business name, yeah, I got it. Thank you so much. Stuff is making noise in the house. I have to. Yeah, I got it, Latrice. Thanks. Yeah, I saw the amount of people was sold. I mean, so many people. I was like, wow. Man, act alarming. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Lori, and who said something about prayer? I have made a decision that I am definitely going to right before, well, the next couple of days, I will be fasting and praying for Robert because all of this, we have to fast and we have to pray because this is beyond us, and we got to fight in the spirit. We really do, because so much is going on. You know, so much is going on. You have the war in the spirit. Um, Somebody was just asking me, was I watching? No, I'm not watching nonsense. Guys, please don't send me the nonsense stuff. That's not my focus. I don't care. I could care less what people say about me. I could care less. We need to just stay positive, y'all. Stay positive. Stay positive and focus on what's happening. Let's not get distracted by nonsense. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. I'm almost there, y'all. I'm almost there. And I could pay it early. I don't have to wait till the 10th. You guys have been blessing me. I'm almost there. Almost. I'm like at 175. I'm almost there. So it's a blessing to have you guys to help out. Because, like, hey, I was like, hey, people. Oh, somebody just, okay, now 200. 200. Somebody just blessed me just now. 200. I'm at 200. So we got like 96 left. I'll do the 50 cents. You're kidding. I'm just being funny. Oh God, this is so funny. You know, I have to be a jokester about it, right? Where's Q? We're waiting for Q to come back. if, so he was giving us some good stuff, man. He was giving us some good stuff. Wait, come on, Q, come back. But we were talking about the main purpose of us coming back in here is to talk about the proffer and explaining to people what proffer a proffer is. Oh my God, something just started tickling my throat. So those who have come in late, you can just go ahead on and check the, go back and check what we talked about earlier. Tanya was so gracious enough to read the different the proffers for me, and just explanation what this all about. Then we were graced with Q. He said he's coming back, so I guess he must be at work. But he was giving us some real nuggets on the law and things like that. So I'm in tune. I'm zoned in to hear what he has to say because it's extremely important. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Skin tight. Okay, now I'm 2:15 in now. 2:15. I love doing this, right? I'm 2:15 in. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. You know, I was kind of like caught off this morning, but as soon as thank you guys, I appreciate it. And remember, the Pacers is every 3 months. It's not every month that this is going this happen like that. Yeah, I'm between Gucci and this dude, 444. You guys, why can't y'all exchange each other's number? Go into Instagram or something. You know what, y'all? They keep disturbing me, giving me going to these messages and sending each other's numbers like I'm their secretary or something. Distractions. They could exchange numbers long time ago with each other. No, they want me to be the middle person. Okay, let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to send each other their numbers. I don't know why they wait to get on. Why I wait on get on my line. Oh, there he go. He's back. Welcome back, you.
Yeah, I'm fighting with this printer right here.
Okay. So we're nosy. Are you an attorney or?
Okay, hold on a second. That dog it.
He's fighting with his printer. Let me go back and try to get these people each other's numbers. And I don't even have a pen to write the other one's number down. Wow. Okay, text me your number, 444, and I'll copy it and send it to Gucci. Text me your number. Because I don't have a pen to write it down and your thing is not showing. Oh, hold on. I think I can copy it. Okay, I got it. I can copy it. Oh, no, but Gucci's not on this phone. It's 2 different phones, and I copied it. Let me just text it. Hold on, y'all. These 2 people getting on my nerve. I'm gonna stop these distraction. I'm gonna stop these distractions from now on. I'm not doing no changing numbers while I'm live, okay, guys? Because they act like their stuff is so important they can't even wait till I finish. I'm not the best. Oh, thank you, Amber. So guys, I'm now at what is, let me add this up. 235. I'm at 235. Thanks, Amber. 235. And when I hit my mark, I don't have to give a dime more because it's not me trying to make money off of y'all. Okay. I just need a little help. A sister need a little help. That's all. Because I'm not rich like everybody else on the YouTube world. Everybody's rich. They're millionaires. Everybody's billionaires and millionaires, right? So, everybody's billionaires and millionaires, and I'm not one of them. I don't have like all this. I'm a Black woman that struggles like everybody else from paycheck to paycheck. Not everybody, because some people got it like that, not me. But thank you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate for helping a sister out. Today's a good prayer. Leslie, when do you do prayer? Because I would love to participate. I would love to, whenever you have it, I would love to be there. Because prayer is extremely important. I would love to do that. I would love to be in prayer. There's something about when saints come together and pray, and I just love praying. Here he comes. He's back. All right. There you go.
Okay. All right. Okay. So where were we?
You was telling us some good stuff.
Okay. Now you was asking me something.
Tanya, what was the last thing we asked him? I forgot. What was the last thing I was asking him, guys?
Let me know if you get an echo. I'm connecting you to my car.
Oh, thank you, Tanya.
Okay. Is there an echo? Hello? Is there an echo on my end?
Yeah, I hear it.
There's an echo?
Yeah, you're gonna have to take me off the speaker.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, y'all. So okay. So I think what's best at this point. I heard you mention something about a character letter. It's something you're trying to submit for sentencing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you an attorney? Somebody said you weren't.
Pardon?
Are you an attorney?
I quit practicing about 13 years ago.
Oh, I heard you on the phone the other day.
Yeah.
Hey. Thank you for coming here.
No
You're
problem.
in Louisiana, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I heard you call. I think you called on Choke's live.
Choke no joke.
Yes.
Yeah, I spoke with several people, and I've also. I thought you were talking. I was on a panel of attorneys about a week ago.
Yeah, I was on that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys I actually went to law school with. But nevertheless, I spent 2 years in the public defender's office. I spent right about maybe 9 years in private practice as a defense attorney. I spent.
So why did you give up on it?
It's ugly. It's very ugly. It is not.
I hear your fan, the wind on your fan.
That's the air conditioner. Okay.
Okay. Better.
So yeah, I moved to doing just appeals.
Mm-hmm.
And I found some comfort with that. And just got away from it. I know, but it's not just me. I know quite a few people that has just completely gotten away from it. You know.
Okay, but you don't do any kind of law now. You just what are you
No,
doing now?
no. I own a couple companies. I own some property that I just left from a few minutes ago. But it's stress free, you know, and I love what I do right now.
Okay.
Um, I managed to put. I have 2 kids left in college. I put 2 other kids through college, and I don't have any financial woes. Matter of fact, my last 2 days in college are on full ride, so I don't have to pay anything.
Awesome.
So,
That's great.
but nevertheless,
I did have a question, Q.
go ahead.
So the statute, the status, what was that you said?
Statutes annotated.
Okay, I was trying to
Now,
pull up.
now in the state of in the state of New York, what district are you looking at these statutes in? Is it New York?
Eastern District, New York.
So the statutes annotated were just a book that contains statutes where people have either filed appeals or charges in that district underneath that particular statute.
Mm-hmm.
So in Louisiana, it's called Louisiana Statute Annotated. It may be called something different in the Eastern District of New York. Now, on the federal level, it has another site. And on the state level in Louisiana, it's Louisiana Statutes Annotated. But you can look it up just to get a general idea of how it works. But the same way that it works on the state level is pretty much the same way it works on the federal level.
Okay.
But in a nutshell, like I said, I really don't want. There's a side of me that really wants me to do some research on it, and
that's the Holy Spirit telling you. That's the discernment. It's telling you to help.
Stop it. But keep in mind when Reuben Carter, who the movie The Hurricane was made after, when he was exonerated, those were just regular people who just did research. And pretty much in the same position that you're in right now. You are aware of that, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So this would be your opportunity to become familiar with this end of the process. You know?
I'm learning a lot since being in this. I'm learning a great deal.
You know, one of the biggest problems that we have, especially as Black people, is that unfortunately we choose to become familiar with the once we become wrapped up in the law, or someone we know or we love becomes wrapped up in the law. You follow me? But there's an old saying that ignorance of the law is no excuse not to know it.
Exactly.
In a nutshell. So, but start with those statutes. But you know, you can find out. You know, it's really how defense attorneys and prosecutors work. You can find out a judge's sentencing record. You can find out, you know, what he has a habit of. You know, matter of fact, there was a case in Florida where there was one judge in the same year had 2 guys had the exact same criminal record, and he gave one of them probation and the other one double-digit years.
Wow.
And one was Black and the other one was white. So, but you know, those things, especially when it comes to sentencing, if he's going to give his reason for sentencing, it has to come with a dissent. He has to explain why he's giving these the sentence to this particular measure. But who's the judge that's
over the case?
Pardon?
Yeah, who's the judge that's over the case?
Ann Donnelly.
Yes.
Ann Donnelly.
Ann Donnelly, okay.
She was the one appointed by Obama.
Gotcha. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is, I'll take one of. If you can give me one of those statutes, I'll research.
Okay.
I'm curious. I'm curious as to their method. I'm not even waste my time with the RICO issue because that's bull crap. As I
Okay.
said before, RICO is under the conspiracy umbrella. You can't have conspiracy with just one person. That's common sense.
Well, they basically said that these other ones are just not charged, but they're part of
Okay,
the
so
supposed RICO.
charge. One of two things had to have taken place. They had to have been named in the bill of information, all right, or bill of indictment if it's federal. Somebody has had to have that severed. Okay, it's normally either a motion for severance or, but I don't know. I would have to look at the original bill of indictment. Has anybody seen it?
I have it. I have all of them.
You have it?
I'm
Yeah, I have
looking right
all of
now,
them.
Miss Sylvia. So we're looking at the bill of indictment for the federal case in New York, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one where he's trying to get the RICO.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else is
I hope you
named?
didn't pull it because Tanya, I have that. If you wanted me to send it to you, I don't. You shouldn't pull it.
Who else is named on
Okay,
that
please.
as a
Not
co-defendant?
in the federal New York. No one else but him. But
That is crazy.
in Chicago, the Illinois one is him and Darren McDavid and June
Yeah,
Milton.
but I mean, I'm not as concerned about the Chicago case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very concerned with the mere fact that in the bill of indictment, okay, it's equivalent. It's equivalent to saying to filing a bill of information on you for murder, but I'm not telling anybody who you killed. I just filed a bill of information. I'm saying, well, Sylvia is charged with whatever the statute is in the Eastern District of New York. She committed murder by whatever, but you're not saying who the person is that you killed, nor are you saying that you found the person who Sylvia killed.
Yeah, but don't you have to have the body of the person too?
Yeah.
Don't you have to have the body of the person that I killed?
Not necessarily, but I'm saying to file a bill of information for murder and not saying who you killed is asinine.
So can I read this real quick, Miss Sylvia? The indictment, I had it already saved up.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you mind? I'm just going to read the first, the introduction. It's the United States of America against Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as R. The grand jury charges, and the introduction is at all times relevant to this indictment, unless otherwise indicated. The enterprise, the defendant Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as R. Kelly, and individuals who serve as managers, bodyguards, drivers, personal assistants, and runners for Kelly, as well as members of Kelly's entourage, comprise an enterprise.
Well, even with mentioning enterprise, if you just want to do some homework, you can get a defense attorney that's not going to charge you a retainer for listening to your story. Just call a defense attorney and say that, hey, I'm being charged with conspiracy, and there's a bill of information filed, but I'm the only person on the bill of information, and I guarantee you he'll look at you like you invented water.
And it says the purpose of his enterprise was to promote his music and brand and to recruit women and girls.
Right. Understood. Okay. What is in that bill of indictment, there's a federal statute for RICO.
It should be in the other pages, Tanya, right before the signature of the foreman.
Okay. Right before the signature of the foreman? Okay.
Yeah, it should be a list of let me see. I'm gonna open it up.
I think let's see.
You got it?
No. So what are we needing? The statute?
The statute.
Yeah.
The federal statute.
Let's see.
It was 18 USC something, right?
I'm trying.
Yeah, that would be the preference.
Yeah, it should
Preference would be
start with the
18
numbers.
Mm, okay.
Q, somebody's asking for your. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Not discussing law. I just discussing, just various topics, but not discussing law.
So what is it
Um,
again that you needed from Q?
The
the
statute,
statute.
the code. Should
For
start with
which one?
18 something. 18 USC, so from numbers.
So now, just now, if you're going to appeal this case as an appellate attorney, you will start with that particular statute. You will research cases that are similar in nature with our cases. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to deal with sex trafficking. It can be with drugs. It could be with
Anything having to do with RICO?
anything that has to do with something in the neighborhood of organized crime, basically.
Okay.
So you will start with that statute. Now, what you're looking for, the diamond in the rough that you're looking for, is any RICO statute that has been any RICO indictment that has been overturned by a higher court. You want to find out what were the reasons why it was overturned. Now, I can tell you, there have been some RICO some RICO applications that didn't make it past the higher courts. They've been overturned.
Yeah.
If the state could not prove that these people conspired, that's
doesn't
what.
matter what state, because when I was researching, I had seen a lot of them in Illinois, because I guess they have a lot of racketeering stuff over there.
Yeah.
There was quite a few in Illinois, because there was one where I think somebody had gotten killed and some sort of error was made and they overturned it, even if they killed the person.
I mean, there could be quite a few procedural errors, but you would actually have to wait. There's not anything you can do prior to a guilty verdict to appeal it. You have to wait until either it's guilty or not guilty, then go through the refined tooth comb and look for either procedural errors, or you look for errors within the entire process. So, but
there's a lot of procedural errors in his case.
Right. And we're not even talking about the reasonable doubt issue. But if you see those charges, those crimes that were of application of RICO in Chicago, if they were overturned, what's most important, what's vital, is the judge's reason for overturning it.
Okay.
All right. You have to read that and see how it applies to your case. Now, whenever a judge gives his reason for overturning the case, and this is vital, this is important, he has to cite a prior case that supports his decision.
Okay.
He's going to cite that case. All right. He's going to cite that case and give the reason as to why. Okay. So it's equivalent to, let's say, for instance, you have an older brother, all right? And you want something from that older brother that you think you're not supposed to have. If the older brother knows that your mama doesn't want you to have it, he's going to then tell you at that time, mama not going to let you have it, so I'm going to say no. All right? That's exactly the same process with handling an appeal. The lower court, all the way to the highest court of the land, if the lower court is going to overturn it, they're going to cite a case or a decision that was made by the higher court.
Oh, okay. Because they know mama's in charge of everything.
Right.
Got you.
Right. So if you ever go to any of the legal shows, they always talk about, well, what's not going to fly because it's going to get shot down by the higher court. They know not to even waste paperwork and time.
But if it's been overturned by the higher courts, that means that is
right.
going to be overturned again.
So on appeal, you have to find that needle in a haystack, which is not that difficult in some cases. You know, there are many people in prison that go to prison knowing that they're going to overturn their case. The problem is they know they have to sit to overturn that case.
Okay.
That's why.
Well,
That's
okay,
why.
now I got
Go
a
ahead.
question for you. Now, okay, like this time frame right here, this is before sentencing. So is there a possibility for overturn before sentencing?
Oh no, no indeed. Not unless they follow a writ. But it,
What do you mean
here's
to
the
follow
reality.
a writ? What's the writ?
Hold on. Here's the reality. The reality is that this would not be a fast process. Just just in just in New York alone, he's looking at a minimum of 5 years of fighting this case.
Why so long?
That's normally if he expects to make it to the highest court in the land, that is normally the time span. It's anywhere between when you're fighting an appeal and you know you have a strong appeal, it's anywhere between minimum, bare minimum, 2 years.
But what
All right.
about the reconsideration? What
Yeah.
about sending
Yeah.
that to the judge?
Yeah. Your victim impact will most likely trump any any consideration or plea from the defendant's family that he does not
No, no, no,
deserve
no,
to go
no,
to
no,
prison.
no. I'm asking about reconsideration, like when there's a blatant error. If
Yeah,
there's
I
error
mean,
found
so
in
so here's how this works. There's a sliding scale on the federal level
mhm.
with the federal sentencing guidelines. Okay, so the way that you prove that a sentence is excessive is you have to find someone in that district or in that jurisdiction that has the same similar circumstances and got sentenced to a lesser time.
Okay, got a question. Okay, here's the thing. When they finished and they did their closing argument, and the judge gave the verdict and all that, she gave them until the first to submit motions. So what is that for? If it's not for
Motions for appeal. They intend to appeal. And so it's still when is he scheduled to be sentenced?
not until next year, May 4th.
May, yeah.
That is very strange.
I know, right? That's exactly what I thought.
That's
Like,
it's
why are you?
almost a
Why
year
wait so
away.
long?
What
That
about
is
the
strange.
motion for reconsideration? Motion for reconsideration.
He has to be sentenced first.
Yeah,
For
that's what
motion
I
for,
was
for
thinking.
reconsideration?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
motion. Are you speaking of motion for reconsideration of sentence or
No,
motion for reconsideration of the verdict?
the verdict.
The
There's
verdict
two
was given.
different ones?
Yeah, the verdict was given by a jury, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
If it was given by a judge, you could do it, but not by a jury, because that would interfere with due process.
But what
So,
about if you found something that was inconsistent with the jury? If something happened, somebody tampered with the jury.
uh, hey, I mean, that could warrant an overturn of that case.
And back again. So when you say it's strange for the sentence to be so long, like, are they trying to
So
prove a
far away.
point? Oh,
No, when is it? When is this next court hearing set for?
It's not set
For
for,
example,
no, the first motion is set for the first, and then the response from the government gonna be the 22nd. Then they got a rebuttal in December. So that's what they're doing.
this is, as I said before, it's a kangaroo court.
What does a kangaroo court mean?
they're making stuff up as they go, right?
Pretty much. What's
So are
in
you
my
experiencing
prediction?
the federal? I mean, do you know about the federal? Why is it done this way like now?
The federal, when you're dealing with the federal government, especially as it relates to indictment. You know, you hear that they're batting at about 95% on conviction rates, right? But nobody discusses the nearly 60% of those cases are overturned.
Yeah, I
Wow.
know that. I heard
So
that. Yeah.
I got a call coming in. Hold on a second. These telemarketers are horrible. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. So no
You might
one
have to
talks
go
about
out and
the.
come back in because you may not be able to hear us.
Well, I can hear you, just that I can no longer talk to you on speakerphone. I have to put the phone in my ear.
Well, it's gonna it's what you could do is go back into the setting and then redo it.
Gotcha. But can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, so this is these are some very strange moving parts, and I guarantee you, if you talk to someone that's familiar with the process, who is not biased on either side, for either side, you'll hear the same thing. This is kangaroo court process, and you know this is the part that sickens me. You know.
Wow.
So, but yeah, in order for there to be a reconsideration of sentence, he has to be sentenced first.
But without
And
reconsideration of a verdict.
in order reconsideration of a verdict would be basically you're asking the jury, who's already been released, correct? You're asking the jury to come back in and make a decision.
So what? You can't ask for a new trial?
I mean, you have to you have to cite a procedural error. That's why you have to, and I'm all but certain that if they are appealing it, they have already started. And then in my opinion, I mean, if I know better, they have already started appealing this case.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
sure.
what stage are they in? That's the question of the day. But I'm willing to bet I'm willing to.
But I was reading something that they have the up to 30 days to file that motion for reconsideration, and then the judge also gave them that time frame. He's gone, y'all. He's gone.
So we knew that this was crazy and odd. So we just got confirmation that all of this mess that we've been thinking all along, we're not crazy, we're not fanatics. It's all factual stuff.
There you go. You back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you have the right to file motions, you know, for the verdict, but you know, I'm curious as to see what those documents are that are filed. Now, the funny part about it is that once they're filed, you have a right to view those documents. They're public record.
Yeah. Trust me, I'll be
So
on it when they file it.
yeah, but you know, but that is standard, especially in a case like this. In any case where where someone is facing a lot of time, uh, I have yet to see I've yet to see where they haven't made note to the court that they'll be appealing, and the court has to acknowledge it. Now, like I said, the court will give its time for all those motions to be filed. Now, keep in mind that
What did you
once
just say? You yet to see them not file, or yet to see them file?
no, I have yet to see anyone not file.
Not file. Okay.
Yeah. So, but this is, as I said before, the best comparison. The best comparison is Bill Cosby. Whether you agree with Bill Cosby, whether you like Bill Cosby or not, you still have to understand that there was a procedural error in Bill Cosby's case, which was there was an agreement by the state that we were not prosecuted, and they prosecuted him anyway.
There's a lot of procedural error in the case of Rob because there was stuff that the
Yeah.
judge said that she was not going to do, and she turned around and did it. And she made an order in the beginning and then changed it in the game.
Well, it's going to be an interesting ride, but
And it's documented too.
in my opinion, this is just me, and I don't expect anybody to agree with me. I think that this is a brick that Rob will be able to get off of his shoulders. Whether it's going to happen, whether it's going to happen next month, next year, or in the next 10 years. This is this is only, in my opinion, this is something that will only make him stronger.
But it needed to be done because, let me tell you, because that monkey would have been riding on his back forever and ever and ever. But
also, this would be a complete lesson that he can't trust everybody.
Hello.
So please make a note. I'm not a fan of R. Kelly. I'm only an advocate for fairness.
You gotta be a fan. You just gotta tell the truth.
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of times when you say something against the narrative, people will paint their own picture. You follow me? So if I go onto a panel and I raise the issue of reasonable doubt, oh, I'm supporting the pedophile. No, I'm talking about fairness. And if you can't see that, then God be with you. I don't know more to tell you.
So, in my opinion, this whole thing is about fairness. It's not about if you support him, any of those things. And it's obvious to so many people who want to see that there has been some unfairness done and just forget about R. Kelly and just think about this as being Robert Kelly, the actual person, not the character. That some injustice.
Guys, hang on one second. I'll be right back.
But you know, the other thing too, Tanya, if we allow this to stay the way it is, that means they can do anything.
It's my son. I have a 31-year-old son. Like, I wouldn't want it to happen to my baby.
And the point is, they're doing it right in our face and thinking that we're going to lay back and say, okay, we're going to do it because they say he did this and did that to this person. No, I'm not. I'm not going to accept it. I don't care if nobody ever talks to me. I don't care.
And that's our history. People have been allowed to do and make up laws to punish us throughout our time. And we have just accepted it and said, okay, let's just move on. And then it happens again. And then they just change the law as they go to punish us just for even breathing.
Even like this morning, I showed you Stephen Taylor, right? The stuff he had done to that girl, right? It's been documented and she's gone through it. I mean, hospital records of her being pregnant and all of that. He's on what? He's a judge on a show. Nobody's coming after him. Nobody's coming after him.
And you don't really have to be a R. Kelly fan to want things to be fair. And none of the stuff that's been that happened with this, it's clear, it's obvious that it's not fair.
It's not.
So.
Is it raining over there? Q.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, Sylvia, what you're doing relative to Rob's case is something that money can't buy. And whoever his attorney is, there's a way that you can find out who's handling this appeal. Once they
we can't hear you if you're talking. You mute it. It
maybe
kicked you out.
Got a call probably.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Tanya, don't let it get to you.
I know. I just think of I don't know. I think so. What would be their reasoning for doing this? Is it will we go back to the fact of the matter about his money? It's all to
I believe it has to do with the money. Because what
yeah.
else? What else is there a reason? I mean,
Because if it's just like I asked this morning when we were reading those documents I just read. If this all happened, why didn't someone do anything back then? Or why didn't any of them call the police? Or
and you notice
I,
that opening states that the statute of limitation of sexual crimes have been changed.
what is it too? There's no statute?
There, New York is no statute anymore.
Oh, when did that change?
2019.
Oh, right before this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
okay.
think New York might have been 2018, and then California 2019, Arizona is 2020. All of them had different time frames.
So, so when I was looking at the indictment, so the feds can bring in and use. So each state has a different law, right? Different
Yeah,
rules. Or
yeah.
is it the United States, right?
No, it's the different rules. But here's the thing: the feds came in because the Fed, because if it with a RICO, there's no statute of limitation with RICO. That's how they were able to get them for stuff that happened many years ago.
Yes, but they can use the laws from any state, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
yeah.
saying?
The statutes
Okay,
from every state in regards to the sexual abuse thing, whatever the thing is.
okay, got it. So Chicago is 17 years old. So what they're doing is that the legal age of consent in Chicago is 17, right?
Yeah.
So everybody that they're saying he did something to in Chicago is under that age, right?
No, no. Nita Carter wasn't. The Montino girl wasn't. She was 32.
But are they charging him with it underage?
No,
With
they
any,
charged him underage for Geronda and for Rashonda Lansfair and
and
Hawkins too.
but everybody in New York is 17 or
No,
older.
no. Faith wasn't 17. Neither. And then the Geronda, I don't even understand how she's in New York where she's never been with him in New York. So I don't understand how that was able.
I guess that's why I'm asking that question, because I'm trying to understand where she fit in New York.
She shouldn't have been in New York.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Neither was Aaliyah in New York, but they bought it in New York.
No. None of it was.
Except Faith.
Yeah, that's who I thought. She was the only one. Was
But
Faith.
see, the thing is, the whole supposedly act happened in Texas before it happened in New York. So why didn't Texas take it over? Why did New York?
Here in my good old state.
But New York, Texas didn't find a crime because she said it was consensual.
Yeah, she's a grown ass woman too. And if you allow somebody to tell you when you can pee and eat and do all that, that's your problem. She's grown.
But Dom, none of those was in New York. None of them. The only one that was in New York was Faith. That was the only one in New York, Dom. Only one in New York was Faith. Not Azriel, not Geronda, none of them. Only person they said was in New York was Faith. That is it.
Did you drop the link again? I think he's gone, right? No, he probably can't get it. Yeah, I've got such a headache.
drop it. I'm talking about charges of Jane, where those were the 6. Oh, you just mentioned all 6. Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were saying that they were because of New York. No, gotcha, gotcha. New York is 17 Gucci, but 18 for marriage. It's so stupid. You can have sex at 17, but you gotta be married. At 18, you can't get married till you're 18. Parents can't sign for you to get married. But you could do the wild thing.
Your parents cannot sign?
No, not in New York anymore. They just changed the law.
Oh, wow. Let's change everything up.
Yep, P12, P215. Yep, Faith went to Dallas PD and they researched and found no crime had been committed. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think she worked at one of our radio stations here.
Dom, yep, but we're talking about the bond proffer. So you missed that part, Dom. You may have to go back. You missed the bond proffer. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about so much of the New York case. But he was talking about New York stuff.
So, quick question. I think I know the answer for this, but everyone that was on Surviving R. Kelly, are they all in the charges against him?
Yeah. Every single last one of them that was in Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Absolutely, every single last one of them. Even John Devontae, even though we didn't think she was gonna be in, she in it.
And all of a sudden now oh my God. Yeah, okay.
Yep, she is in it. She is in it. Every single last one of them. Everyone. Wow. Oh, Kitty, I think she's in the Chicago case. The Illinois one.
Dream Hamilton produced Surviving R. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Along with some of his music.
Hey, Sylvia,
Yes.
got a question, and this is a very important question. Has anybody seen or read the initial complaint, not the bill of information or bill of indictment?
I opened it up a couple of days ago. I opened up the initial complaint a couple of days ago. Yep.
Okay. What about any supplements?
I saw some superseding, some supplements. I don't remember. I have to check and see.
Miss Sylvia, the initial complaint, do I have that? Is that on paper?
No, that's remember when we talked about the one that closed out the 569? The initial complaint where you can't open is a file up there at the top. You can't open it anymore. That's where it's at. The initial complaint. This is when that's when the person that's doing investigating, you do all his notes and everything.
Right. So
do you have that, Miss Sylvia?
Yeah, I have that.
But there are also transcripts, if not recordings, it's probably in transcript form of every person that testified had to have given a statement before the trial.
Wasn't that the grand jury's testimony?
Way before,
we don't
way
have
before
those.
that. Way before that.
That's when they did the proffer, right?
What you say?
Is that when? Because they got the proffer from the state case. The state case came first.
Right. Is that? Let me. I'm just curious now. Like I said, I'm following from the back end. Kim Fox was the very first person to request to prosecute R. Kelly, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty much the same thing that in Bill Cosby case, the guy that prosecuted Bill Cosby, the DA, this was a campaign promise, and I've heard that this was Kim Fox trying to save her job by way of popularity.
Well, she got voted back in. Because of
Uh-huh.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it works.
And she actually created a hotline for people. She created a hotline for people to just call in to say if you've ever been.
See, but here's the thing. There is a huge benefit to being a victim in this case. All right, you're guaranteed an interview that's going to net you a couple $1,000.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Keep in mind, yeah, nobody's doing any interviews for free. I'll put you like this: just do your own homework. Contact the victim and ask them what do they charge for a radio interview.
Wow.
There's a benefit to being a victim. Now, whether or not you're going to do something with the money or not, but there is a benefit to being a victim in this case. Even if it's just for sympathy. And what's horrible is there are people out here that are legitimately being sexually abused, but their stories are questionable because of the people like the lady in the Brian Banks case and these people in this case here.
Yeah.
So, but I think that a good defense on appeal, but it's kind of tricky, would be selective prosecution on behalf of the prosecutor. But with using that position of selective prosecution, you have to admit to some sort. Then again, you don't have to, but you could say that it's selective prosecution because of his status and how there were other people that should have been charged that weren't charged, but they were forced to testify against him.
And
So
can I ask you something, Q? Why isn't Demetrius somebody filing charges on him, because he has 2 kids with underage girls?
2 kids with underage girls.
Yeah, one was 16, the other one was 17.
Born children that are living and breathing today.
Yes.
Wow. And no child support?
No, I mean no charges against him. He's in supposedly.
Well, if it's a minor child, or if he has a child at all, whether it's with an adult or whether it's with a child, the very first thing you have to do is establish paternity, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You have to establish paternity. Sylvia, how's our?
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. You broke up.
I was asking you how is our daughter doing?
My daughter, she's good. My daughter.
No. How's our daughter? Our other daughter that we had.
Which one did we have? We ain't had no kids. Oh, okay. He's trying to be funny, y'all.
You see how easy it is just to throw that shit around?
Yeah. Okay. That was a good one, y'all. People be like, "Huh? Somebody had a kid by him?" Look how quick the rumor roll around.
Right. So, but yeah, that's crazy. And you can expect the circus really hasn't begun yet. They're just really letting people into the stand, but it's gonna get worse. Not so much worse with the case itself, just people with the foolishness.
Yeah.
So let me see. What's her name? Give me the top 4 females that's involved in this case.
You have Geronda Pace. You have Azriel Clary. You have Faith Rogers and Rashonda Land. Well, she's not across. Are you talking about in New York alone?
In New York.
Okay, I said Azriel, Geronda, Faith, and I'm talking about the top one. Who else? Hallie.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet cash money that they all have a publicist.
Yes, they do.
And I'm
They
willing to
do.
bet cash money. If you call them and tell them, look, I have an interview I want to do. Are you able to do it? And is there a fee? I'm
Wow.
telling you, there's a benefit to being a victim.
So
Wow.
also, yeah.
Kareem, Aaliyah's deceased. That wouldn't be one of them because she wouldn't be doing interviews, Kareem.
Aaliyah,
Come on, that
what
one
were
that's
they?
alive.
But see,
Tanya, Kareem.
as I said before, the problem that I have with mentioning Aaliyah is this, it goes hand in hand with they mention Aaliyah as as his prior methods of operating. All right, remember I mentioned modus operandi.
Yeah.
That's a legal term. It's a Latin term. It's a legal term for your method of operation. This is what you do. In other words, um, if I rob people who are coming in um, from partying, I follow them home from the club and I rob them when they get out their car, then that's my modus operandi. That's how I operate. So if I've been arrested for that before, but never charged, if I've been arrested for it before, but never charged, let's say I've been arrested 3 times for it in other jurisdictions, and I've never been convicted for it. I've just been arrested, and let's say they didn't prosecute me on it at all. They just dropped it. Once I get caught doing that same thing, they can use those arrests as my mode of operation. This is what I do, so I must be guilty. You
Mm.
follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So the young lady who gave the young ladies, I'm sorry, I apologize, the young ladies who gave conflicting testimonies, I have a problem that the court did not allow their previous lies to be.
Hmm.
It shows their method of operation. They have a habit of lying, but they want to say that R. Kelly has a habit of dealing with underage girls who's not even charged in the case, who's not in the
Mm-hmm.
bill of information.
Well,
But
one
we're
of the
going to
sidebars, the judge
say,
one of the sidebars, the judge was pretty much saying how Azrael Kelly is impeaching her on the
Azrael
verge of
Kelly.
impeaching
Azrael Clary, not Kelly.
Clary. Yeah, I thought that's what I said.
Claire,
Was on the verge of impeaching herself because her testimony was so conflicted, or just she wasn't telling the truth.
this is what it all boils down to. R. Kelly stopped paying people, and you had a bunch of women who could not make decisions for themselves, in regards to the age. So, for that, for not paying these people anymore, and for the resolution for holding grown ass women responsible for not making their own decisions, and any testimony would do. Because last time I checked, they didn't submit anything in the court relative to the private conversation that was had by Azrael that gave the court an idea as to why she was dealing with R. Kelly from the get go.
No. Well, I didn't get to hear it.
But they sure like to talk about Aaliyah.
Yeah, they sure do. A dead person.
We really love to
You're coming in and
have
out.
court transcripts. There's coming out of rabbit hole. What you said?
You coming in and out. Going,
Hello?
you breaking up. You breaking up. You're in the boondocks. FYI, charge number and the indictment superseding. Yeah, I have those numbers. Thank you. 22. Okay. Thank you. I got it in the email you sent me, Leslie. Got it. Thank you. I was just looking at your email. He has a sucky phone. Wow, this
Maybe
is
he
so
got the bad
interesting.
goods. What you say, Miss Sylvia?
Oh no, I'm not messing with y'all in the country, Miss Fat. No, 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 no. I wouldn't do that.
So,
You
Mr.
sound
Clary,
stressed, Tanya. Don't stress.
I'm not. I just have a headache. I was going to say, so Mr. Clary in the bushes there.
He
I hope you're
stays in my
taking notes.
bushes, y'all. He
I hope
lives
you're.
in my bushes.
I hope you're taking notes, sir. And
He
that's
lives in
maybe the
my
reason
bushes.
why he's so angry still is because he knows that
It
this is
ain't forever. Forever,
that,
ever, ever,
that
ever, ever, ever.
no that he knows that Robert being in jail is temporary.
Yeah.
So he want to keep pushing his narrative that we're sick for being supportive. You MFs are just sick. You are some sick
How we
individuals.
sick? No, sick is that you think you could keep getting over on the government and then try to use the government to help you out and get more money to get over somebody else. That's sick.
Yeah, but we're not going to be messy today. We said we weren't going to do that, right?
You started it. You brought his
I
name up.
know it, right? I had to catch myself because I'm like, okay, we weren't supposed to
Yeah,
be talking about.
she started it because I was minding my business.
I know that I felt I saw you was about to go all the way in. I'm like, dang, we're not supposed to be mentioning that today. So I have quite a bit of notes and homework to do
Absolutely.
because he is most definitely correct about Hurricane getting out of jail based upon what were they law students? I don't know what they were. I was.
This is some good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Ooh, you never stop learning, guys. Never stop learning. Hold on a second, let me mute myself.
Okay, guys. So which city are we going to have the first celebration? Should we start in Texas, having the first party after he's released, and then go from each state and have a party here, there, here, there? How did you get that, Q?
Huh?
Q said he got, what did he say? He said he got And one last one. I got a free flight or free 5-star hotel to lay up in while this trial went on.
He's so funny. Q is so funny. Here's the link, sir. Give it a Q is funny. Hey Trina, how are you? Tanya, I'm about to get off this live. You've been great host. Thank you so much for reading it. Is Q coming back before I get off of this live? Is Q coming
You're
back?
very welcome, Miss Sylvia. Anytime you need me.
Of course, darling. Thank you so much.
I was asking the panel, what state are we going to have our first?
Q, I need you to email me,
Shall
Q.
we start to Texas?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Q, email me. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Q, I need you to email me if you don't mind. Because you got some brains I need to pick. I need you on my brain picking list. I have people I pick their brains all the time. So email me. All right, guys, I'm about to hit the road now. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye, bye.